The iPhone 6s used to occupy this hallowed position as best smartphone in a tiny package. Then Apple packed all the best bits from the 6s in an even smaller, 4-inch frame. The same speedy processor and 12-megapixel 4K shooting camera all make an appearance. And while some tech like the arguably useful 3D Touch doesn't make the cut, Apple still brought on its best feature, live photos. That's not to say the iPhone Southeast isn't without its blemishes. For one, that small display has a sub-720p resolution and it's not nearly as bright as the 6s. But the iPhone Southeast's biggest sell is to people who cry foul at smartphones' steady climb to bigger and bigger dimensions. The iPhone Southeast is a nostalgia throwback that puts modern technology into what was the undisputed king of small phones in 2013, the iPhone 5s. But the iPhone Southeast is like voting for a local city councilman when only one candidate is running. There's not much there to compare it to. But if your chief concern is going as small as possible without giving up the technological convenience that comes with bigger phones, congratulations, you've arrived. This category is somewhat strange thanks in part to the weird gadgets themselves, and that right now, there aren't many contenders. Really, the Moto Z's only real-world competition is the LG G5, and when making that comparison, there isn't much competition at all. Where the Moto Z really pulls ahead is that its modular components, known as Moto Mods, work so much better than the LG G5. The Moto Mods just snap on with magnets and immediately get to work. The G5 on the other hand needs to reboot every time you want to switch out a modular component. But the category could be growing quickly. Google announced during its I/O conference this year that the long-awaited Project Acer smartphone, a modular device that has been in the works for years, will finally be available for purchase in 2017. It's uncertain if these three phones will be enough to spark a whole new category of mobile devices or not, but if you want to get in on the ground floor, the Moto Z Droid is currently your best bet. Unfortunately, as of July 2016, the phone is only available through Verizon, though the GSM-capable variant is coming, and glimpsing the future will also cost a pretty penny, around $624 to $730 just for the phone, and the mods costing anywhere between $60 and $300. Turns out the future is expensive. Huawei and Google's team up on the Nexus 6P has created a smartphone that's built for everyone, and it's the real good. The 6P fixes everything wrong with 2014's Nexus 6 and creates something that's the perfect vessel for pure Android. The 6P is Google through and through, from the hardware design, to the operating system, and even to the very carrier if you so desire. It leverages everything new in Android, like a fingerprint sensor, and includes new hardware like the Android Sensor Hub that can turn that usually terrible battery life into a guaranteed full day's worth and beyond. Although it's only $500, which is definitely expensive but not quite premium prices, it still retains the look and feel of a luxe piece of gadget. It's a Nexus phone cloaked in metal, and its design fits nicely with all other smartphones of its caliber. But in a sea of Android that's still full of subpar skins and ROMs, the Nexus 6P shines with its bloat-free software. It's incredibly fast, great-looking, and an all-around solid choice. The OnePlus 3 is, by almost every degree, an upgrade over our former best cheap smartphone champion, the OnePlus 2. After 2 years, OnePlus has finally outpaced the growing pains of making new hardware and combined powerful specs, smooth software, and a compelling price to form the new OnePlus 3. For the purpose of this list, this phone exists to entice you to a price that might be just outside of what's typically considered cheap. After all, $400 is nothing to sneeze at. However, compared to iPhones and Galaxies that can reach upwards of $1,000 plus, it is significantly discounted for a premium phone. It also no longer uses the painfully terrible Invite system, so this year you might be able to actually buy one. The two big winners here are design and software. The OnePlus 3 fits comfortably as one of the best designed phones out there, with an all-metal design and a slimmer body. For software, OnePlus sticks with its own version of Android, Oxygen OS, and because the software is in-house, OnePlus has made several optimizations across the OS to make the phone feel faster. Seriously, compared to the Galaxy S7 or iPhone 6s, this thing holds its own or even exceeds when it comes to speed. In every sense of the phrase, OnePlus has finally created the true flagship killer. Yes, The Nexus 6P is big, but the Galaxy Note 5 is a different kind of big. Samsung's been through 5 iterations of the Note series, trying to build an OS that takes advantage of that huge screen real estate, and the Note 5 is the best yet. Touch Vise is the often bemoaned skin of Android that's historically cluttered up the Android experience to a point of annoyance. But with the Note 5 and its included S Pen, some of those added software features are actually quite useful. Small tweaks have made the Note 5 better over the last year's Note 4, including a quick launch feature for S Note and Samsung Pay, which uses NFC and MST technology to create the most widely accepted mobile payment system out there. The premium Note 5 adopts the same look as our old smartphone champion, the Galaxy S6, so it definitely looks the part, and it also includes other forward-thinking features, including the YouTube live stream application built right into the camera app. Oh, and it also takes some of the best photos around. If you want to leverage every single inch of your smartphone display and don't mind Samsung toying around with Android to make that possible, the Note 5 is a great pick. The Galaxy S7 Edge and its smaller sibling, the S7, are two remarkable phones. In 2015, the Galaxy S6 held our best smartphone accolade for many months until it was eventually dethroned by the impressive Nexus 6P. But Samsung improves on the S6 in all the right places. It keeps the classy glass and metal design but adds on impressive waterproofing without compromising design. It actually makes you wonder what the Galaxy S7 Active, Samsung's rugged Galaxy lineup, will have to offer. But the Galaxy S7 camera is also a cut above what's come before it. With an f/1.7 aperture so you can take phenomenal photos in low light, and a redesigned photo sensor means the S7 is almost always in focus. The reason I'm singling out the 5.5-inch Edge over the 5.1-inch S7 isn't for its Edge-like features, which are okay but whatever. The bigger Edge device also means a bigger battery, and I saw noticeable differences in how much time I would get out of the S7 and S7 Edge comparatively. If you're not the biggest fan of large phones, Samsung packs in a lot of screen into a relatively small frame. It's the smallest 5.5-inch phone I've ever held. Factor in a great processor, display, and build quality, and it's almost a no-brainer that the Galaxy S7 is the best phone you can buy right now. However, many companies like HTC and Apple haven't shown what's in store for 2016 quite yet, so who knows how long the S7 will remain on top.